1989. Amid the glitz and the glitter of a bustling young Disney World at the height of its golden age, the Disney MGM Studios was a star in its own right, a beacon for the show business elite. Then, something happened that changed all that. The time is now to celebrate 35 years of Disney's Hollywood Studios with the largest ever in-person gathering of those who created its magic, the Imagineers who brought you the great movie ride, Muppet Vision 3D, and of course, as you may recognize, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. We'll present never-before-seen stories and artwork from the Hollywood that never was, but always will be. This event is somewhat unique in that it will offer a meet and greet and autograph session, as well as 2 days of star-studded panels and presentations. We invite you, if you dare, to register at stage89.com to attend this event either in person or via streaming, or just to get more information. And all event proceeds travel directly to Give Kids the World Village.
This is News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Eric Morton of WDWNT.com. Please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell to make sure that you never miss the latest from Disney theme parks around the world. Here now's the news for April 8th, 2024. Tiana's Bayou adventure saw a few updates last week with a new banner, greenery, and more. Starting out with new signage just beyond the water tower, you can spot a newly installed purple banner. It's hard to make out exactly what it says. It appears the sign says both family and friends and New Orleans. It joins Tiana's food sign that was also added recently. Also in this area, the plants that we spotted the crew members installing earlier last week are now fully in place, adding more greenery to the mountain. Some of the new greenery can also be spotted behind a Lewis photo opportunity that's installed on one of the construction walls. Moving on over to the Frontierland Railroad Station and Tiana's Bayou Adventure queue area, the construction walls have once again been moved to accommodate the work that's happening behind them. The most recent move has created much less space for guests walking towards those restrooms over there, so you'll note that. Be careful. It's a little more cramped over there than it used to be. We also noticed that the roofing on the building behind the queue has a unique look, as each section appears to be a different type of roofing material. Finally, this morning, it was revealed that Imagineers installed a new Tiana's Foods delivery truck in the queue overnight. Disney Parks shared a video on Instagram of the new truck. The truck is green and yellow with the Tiana's Foods logo and the quote, "Never ever lose sight of what's really important." Tiana's Bayou Adventure is set to open this summer at the Magic Kingdom. Disney Parks released new concept art for the Test Track reimagining and announced the EPCOT attraction will temporarily close this summer. The concept art shows the sleek round facade of Test Track with a canopy structure removed. There's also looks like a new canopy type of thing there. Blue and purple lighting illuminate the entrance. A new Test Track presented by Chevrolet sign is in front of the building. Test Track will close temporarily beginning June 17th of this year to prepare for these updates. The reimagined version of the ride was announced last year and will draw inspiration from World of Motion, which of course Test Track replaced at EPCOT. Imagineers said they plan to bring that spirit of optimism from the World of Motion to the next iteration of Test Track. Chevrolet will remain the sponsor. The last major update was back in 2012, and timing indicates the reimagining may be the result of Chevy renewing their sponsoring contract. The Figment Lug Crossbody Bag, first released for the EPCOT International Festival of the Arts, has returned as generic EPCOT merchandise. I don't know if generic is the right term, but it's not branded for the festival. The front of the bag has the same design as the previous incarnation. It's purple with a large patch of Figment's face on the small front zip pocket. The front of the main pocket has a hatched pattern, including rainbow stitching and a Disney Parks X Lug plaque. The back of the bag has a new design. EPCOT is embroidered at the bottom in yellow gold thread. A trio of gears is above the park's name. The largest gear features an orange image of Spaceship Earth in the center. A light bulb representing the Imagination Pavilion is in a smaller orange gear. There are tiny stars all around the design. We previously saw this bag with the Festival of the Arts logo on the back, as I alluded to earlier. The bag is available at Creation Shop for $59.99. The new sequences for Star Tours, The Adventure Continues, featuring Ahsoka Tano, Cassian Andor, and The Mandalorian have made their debut at Disney's Hollywood Studios. The exterior of the ride is mostly unchanged, save for 2 new banners on either side of the entrance. While on the ride, our first one anyway, we escaped to Kashyyyk and then received a transmission from the Mandalorian himself with Grogu, and he told us he was sending over coordinates because our help was needed. And then Grogu ate and then spat out a floating frog that was floating in front of passengers there, the main 3D gag anyway for this iteration. Next, we traveled to Seatos, where we saw Purrgil and Ahsoka asking for our help in a dogfight. We eventually take the enemy down, and R2-D2 makes the Star Speeder do an inversion before flying us back to the hangar. Other additions include transmissions from Ahsoka Tano or from Cassian Andor. Reportedly, all tours are currently visiting Seatos. I know Star Wars people. I may be pronouncing that right. You're in the sky flying amongst Purrgil. The opening first planet and transmission are randomized. One version of the opening features Ahsoka's T6 Jedi shuttle. You can check out our full video of all the changes right here on our channel. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, Be Our Guest Vacations. Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guest Vacations and their concierge team of expert vacation planners. Head over to beourguestvacations.com/WDWNT and their team will help design your next magical vacation, from Disney World and Disneyland to Disney Cruise Line to Adventures by Disney and more. They are also able to book those unforgettable VIP tours where you and your group can experience the ultimate park day. The best part is their concierge services are 100% free, so book today. Earth Month has arrived, and in celebration, Walt Disney World is offering limited time food and beverage options at Animal Kingdom, Animal Kingdom Lodge, and Disney Springs. We tried and reviewed all of the items to give you an idea of what to get on your next trip. You can check out our article for the full list, and we'll have a video dropping pretty soon. I enlisted the help of Jill Diffendahl to help me eat all of these items. A small fire reportedly broke out in the parking lot at Disney's Animal Kingdom, leading to the fire department being called. The April 5th fire, which was in an area of bushes in the Animal Kingdom parking lot, was put out by a local fire department. The cause of the fire was unclear. Guests were unable to get too close to the scene, and when we passed by the area, not much could really be seen of damage. It appears that maybe it was just the bushes and greenery there. No real damage to park infrastructure, but as this was close to where the tram travels, tram service was temporarily suspended. Rumors suggest that Disney will switch to a third-party company for their disability access service sometime soon. WWNT's source indicated the switch could be as soon as 2 weeks from now, but nothing has been announced or confirmed, and plans are always subject to change. Again, we're running this as a rumor with some pretty good sources. The service may be similar, even the same service as the IBCCES, that's the International Board of Credentialing and Continuing Education Standards, Attractions Assistance Pass that Universal rolled out last year. With IBCCES, boy, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Guests must sign up before their visit and upload documentation such as a doctor's note. Their information and documents will be reviewed. If IBCCES then pre-qualifies a guest for an accessibility card, Universal then contacts them about accommodations that they may need. Pre-qualifying does not guarantee an attractions assistance pass over at Universal. Universal has final approval and gives the guest a case number to take to guest services on their visit. Guests must show their digital accessibility card in the app. Screenshots and printouts are not accepted, and Universal gives them their attractions assistance pass. This pass is good for a year, but guests must pick up a new card every 2 weeks. Disney's current disability access service at Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resort is good for 90 days. Guests can pre-register as soon as 30 days in advance of their visit, or no less than 2 days before arrival with a live virtual chat, or they can register in person during their trip at a guest relations locations. A cast member will ask about accommodations the guest needs and determine if DAS is right for them. DAS allows guests to request a return time to an attraction and then enter the attraction through the Lightning Lane queue. Guests can get unlimited DAS return times in a day, but may only hold one at a time. This is going to cause a lot of bad feelings if this happens. We know the system at Universal is extremely unpopular, and I know that people have been looking for ways to tighten the system up a little bit, as many people feel that the DAS system is abused at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. This is going to be, if this happens, this is going to be a big issue. There's going to be a lot of fallout. We will wait to see exactly what shakes out. On Friday, a pole holding large speakers in the area in front of Sleeping Beauty Castle at Disneyland fell over, crashing onto a railing where guests are often seen standing or walking by. It fell in an area directly to the right of Sleeping Beauty Castle. The speaker caused damage to the fence in the surrounding area, bending it forward. There were no reports of injuries, and it did not immediately appear that any guests or cast members were harmed. Cast members quickly surrounded the area, preventing guests from getting too close to the damage. A situation similar to incidents that happened recently, including some at Disneyland, some at Walt Disney World. I'm just going to stop for a second because this has become a thing recently at Disneyland. Also, we go back to even at Disney World in, I think, September of 22. We saw the facade at Keystone Clothiers, which is above a doorway or next to a doorway, anywhere where guests pass through regularly. It fell off the wall and crashed onto the ground. They sort of repaired it months later. Then, not much later at Disney's Hollywood Studios, we saw a lamppost at the entrance where thousands of guests passed by. It fell down and crashed to the ground. Now at Disneyland last year, we had a light pole that was for parade lighting in Main Street, USA, kind of in the town square area, crashed down, injured multiple guests, and now we have this. And you know, thousands of guests go in these parks every day. You walk under something like maybe the Hallelujah Mountains, floating mountains above your head, or you walk under Spaceship Earth. You never have any worry that these things are going to fall on you. Safety is one of those things that I think people think about. They go to Disney World and they feel safe, right? You're supposed to. You go through security, and there's all these measures to make you feel safe. And all these very sophisticated buildings are held up, and you don't have any fear that they might fall on you. But somehow, we can't keep light poles and simple posts from falling down. Disney needs to do better in this area. This is unsafe. It's a real shame that this happens. Look, I realize there are thousands probably of poles that they would have to inspect, but these speakers are kind of part of, you know, parade operations and things like that. They just had the lights from a parade fall down last year. You would think there'd be a full audit of these additions, this show infrastructure, and I really would like to see that Disney does something. And you know, this is really scary, and they're really lucky that someone hasn't been killed yet by one of these things. So hopefully we hear from Disney that they acknowledge there's a problem and that they're going to inspect all of this stuff. Astro Orbiter at Disneyland Park is back. After closing in November for refurbishment. The ride was dismantled and then rebuilt. Construction walls are down, and guests are free to ride the attraction, which is at the front of Tomorrowland. Well, let's be honest, it's kind of in the hub. I don't know. There are no major changes that we saw to the ride. It's just been repainted. The attraction was basically cleaned. All of the rockets were repainted. Additionally, all of the lights in the head and tail of the rockets were either replaced or repaired. The floor and surrounding walls have also been freshly repainted. In general, the ride looks much more vivid and vibrant than it was back in November. Sabine Wren from Star Wars Rebels and Ahsoka is now appearing at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland for Season of the Force. Sabine is appearing for a limited time for the celebration of May the 4th, Star Wars Day. Also appearing those BDX roaming droids we talked about on a previous episode. Season of the Force runs from April 5th to June 2nd, 2024. Not to be outdone, Jabba the Hutt showed up in popcorn bucket form. We've teased this before on previous episodes. But yes, the Jabba popcorn bucket is available now at Galactic Grill or the popcorn cart near Star Trader in Tomorrowland. The returning Millennium Falcon bucket is also available. Also, for Season of the Force, we have a review of all the food offerings. There are a number of Season of the Force videos available right now, right here on our channel, so check them out. Tokyo DisneySea has always been one of our favorite theme parks when it comes to food. Many of the dishes are creative, whimsical, and utterly delicious. That's why when it was announced that Tokyo DisneySea would be hosting its first ever food and wine festival, we knew immediately we had to book a trip overseas so we could attend. Well, conveniently for us, Tom Corliss is already there. Like every other Disney food festival we cover, you'll find our complete thoughts and rankings for each dish on our website. Of course, you can also check out the video of Tom eating all these things. Kind of a mixed bag of review, I would say, but check it out. It's right here on the channel. Also, Tokyo Disneyland has become Donald's Quacky Duck City for the park's second Palooza event, which runs through June 30th. This event includes, of course, a new parade, Quacky Celebration Donald the Legend. The parade takes place 1 or 2 times daily. It runs for about 35 minutes, circling the castle and hub a couple of times. It has 6 floats and approximately 65 performers and characters, including Pete in his first Tokyo Disney Resort appearance. Daisy, Minnie, and Mickey are on that first float with a giant "We Love Donald" sign. All the characters and dancers wear Donald-inspired blue, white, yellow, and red outfits. Chip and Dale are on the second float, which has an image of Chef Donald. They're followed by Goofy on a sporty float, declaring Donald is powerful. Donald's fellow caballeros, Jose and Panchito, are on the next float for Superstar Donald Duck, featuring posters of the duck in different movies and scenes. Donald himself is on the 5th float, standing on an archway reading Super Duck. He wears a crown and a feathery cape. Pete is on that last float with comic book inspired signs reading Boing and Crash. He's surrounded by hammers like he's constructing something. Pete ultimately inflates a large balloon version of Donald on the back of the float. Of course, we have that full video here on our channel as well. For the absolute latest on these stories and all those that did not make it onto today's show, please be sure to check WDWNT.com and follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. A special shout out to all the WIGS members watching who make this show happen each and every week. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Eric Morton saying enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.